I think a lot of them do, actually, because, we didn't conspire on this, rehearse it. We all ended up with the same sort of issues. I suppose the answer to your question is people become overwhelmed by the simple challenge of running the business that they've chosen to be in. Whether it's selling kitchen appliances or whether it's selling fashion online, most of their working day is completely absorbed by that issue of how do we do what it is we've chosen to do a bit better, and so they don't have the luxury of time of sitting back and thinking about those other frameworks. But I think most successful companies actually do think about those issues and fix them.
I think that's right. I think they probably do get that kind of advice, but a lot of it is not through structured ways. One of the things that we've been running for some years, we get all our CEOs and CFOs and chairmen together across across the world, across different sectors, to get together, kind of share knowledge. And it always surprises me how many of them know each other already, and how many entrepreneurs have kind of got together over the years and just talked through some of the issues they've had at their business and shared it. So I think they do get that. I just think sometimes it's behind the scenes and it's not quite so structured.
I suppose I would agree with those points, but we do come across quite a number of organisations that haven't seemed to leverage that, and it's always a bit stunning to me. And I was with a fast-growing company, 30 million pounds of revenue the other day, and a digital-based business, but they needed to set up an operation in Eastern Europe, and the comment came, we've struggled to find the right people to set up our own operation to run back office services in Eastern Europe. And I thought he was joking at me because I thought he wanted me to say something, and I was just stunned that they were actually thinking they should do that themselves, even though they weren't in those markets, and we're stunned that we were there, and Accenture and a whole load of other companies do those services. So I think it becomes, especially if you've got founders still involved, and relinquishing control and the other things that David and Roger and Neil have mentioned. And then you get overburdened and you haven't brought in additional talent. Sometimes the business can get atop of you a little bit, and if the one way to be successful is that you've done it yourself, it's a little hard to kind of release those reins and get others to do that work. So I think the really successful ones are able to do that, are able to release the reins and let others get involved. But I think there's quite a pent-up demand in some perhaps businesses that should grow faster because of those constraints.
Yeah, we talk about talent, and I did this in the testimonial. You can hire people with loads of experience, and they are the very wrong person for that job because they won't think again about the blueprint. So you quite often find they'll do what they've done before, and they'll build a cost centre, they'll run it extremely well, and it's 40% more capital he wants to invest. So it's asking people with experience to stop, think about the next challenge and look forward, and that's quite a difficult one to pull off. In an interview, people with experience come across very well. They're less likely to say, I'm going to tear up the blueprint and do it a different way. But that's actually what you want in a business like ours. So good talent is a mix of experience and a willingness to learn, and that's the stage we're at. So.